Hi guys, this is Tony here from Metal Roos. You're about to sit down and enjoy an interview I just did um, over there. And so do like and subscribe so you can get all this straight into your streaming and into your consciousness as soon as it arrives. So enjoy the interview, and I will. Over to you, Tony. Yeah, thanks for coming on and chatting with us, Jasper from Graceless. It's a real pleasure to have some underground royalty on the show.
No, no.
Yes,
I think
yes.
you're confusing me with someone else, but I'm really happy to be here.
No, no, I mean that. I think your band and bands like you are really sort of pioneering a sound in Europe now, which is something really special, don't you think?
It's a bit weird to say about your own sound that it's special, but I mean, and it is the music that we love, and that I know that there's still a lot out there that
Yeah.
that I really like as well. If we can be a part of that, I'll leave that up to others, but to decide if we are or not. But at least it's fun for us right now.
Oh, brilliant! I mean, this latest album, which has only just come out, came out on the at the end of May,
Yeah.
which is the Icons of Ruin, which is the latest long player. Is it your fourth?
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I've been sort of binge listening to it the last um, few days, and it seems to have a life of its own. It seems to really start one way and completely finish a different way. Um, is
I
that
think
is
that's
that
something.
was yeah was that what you were trying to do?
A lot of things that we do aren't really that much of a conscious decision, right? So we don't have a meeting and sit around and say, what do things have to sound like?
Hmm.
It kind of comes out that way. I do take pride in the fact that we don't necessarily fit in one box. So we don't have one type of song that we repeat over and over and over again. There might be the odd ones out, or it's a bit wider, I think, than one specific type of death metal or style, and that's just something I really like. Keeps it fun, keeps it interesting.
Yeah, I think also what makes it great again about the sound that you are making and your compatriots are making is there is not just that one box. Like I was listening to this, I hear doom, I hear death, I hear black metal, I hear it's all sorts of things flowing around this album.
Yeah, I mean, the genre thing has never been really appealing to me.
Mm.
To say it has to be one thing or I like one type of metal. Uh, I really like the Lemmy approach to that. It's all rock and roll,
Yeah,
and it's either good or it isn't.
yeah. Do you know, Jasper, that is so true, isn't it? That we all, I think record companies like to put things in boxes because that's how they can sell it, right?
Yeah,
That's how they can mass produce it. But you, me, and the rest of the music lovers just want to have a good sound, whatever it is.
yeah. I don't care what it is, whether it's black or death or trash or doom, or I either like it or I don't, and label doesn't really matter to me much.
Brilliant. I mean, you've had three singles off this album already, right? So, Hardening of the Heart, Resurrection of the Grace, is it the Graceless? Yes. Sacrificial Slaughter. They're the three singles off of it. And I was watching the videos for Resurrection. It's actually brilliant video. Is it AI or?
It is AI. Opinions vary about that one, to be
Oh,
honest.
really?
Whether some like it, some don't. I thought it was fun to do something else again, right?
Mm,
So, uh, to be honest, I don't really care that much for videos. It's
mm,
it's something that you have to do to get your music out there.
yeah.
we don't want to spend thousands of dollars, and we don't have behemoth budgets where we can do really cool looking stuff.
Yeah,
So we tried to go for a different creative solution. Uh, to me, it's just about the song anyway. So the video, yeah,
I just
some
loved
like
it.
it, some really hate it, but they did talk about it a lot. We got one or two really angry replies of that there was AI in a video, and that, I mean, yeah, well, if you don't like it, don't look at it. That's
Yeah,
fine.
it's not in the music though, is it? You're not plugging AI in and saying, "Make me a Graceless album." This is just another way of creating some art outside of the music.
It's just visual support for a
Yeah,
song. That's
yeah,
it.
yeah. But I mean, I love the scene that you guys are have growing around. Like I know Ralph Halber from Revel in Flesh quite well, and I love the fact that you did that. You did that. That's when I first came across you. Is that the single you did with them in 2021, the split single,
Yeah.
which was brilliant, by the way. I absolutely love that. It was one of my treasured possessions. It's
Cool.
hard to get over here in Australia, let me tell you.
I can imagine. Yeah.
But the scene itself, like you said, I think you hit the nail on the head, Jasper, when you said I don't care for, I just want to make music that I like. And I think I was talking to someone about this the other day, why I've suddenly become sort of enamored a lot with your scene, is that it feels like you're doing it for yourself. And you're doing it because you enjoy doing it. It's not commercial, but it's still something, you know what I mean? It's a weird mix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we wanted to make money, we have to do something else, right? This is not what you do to. We won't get rich off this. This is just. But we would do it for free, and we've done it for free for many years. It's just this is what we want to do.
Yeah.
This is the music that we want to play, and I think if we would start all over, lose the name and start fresh, the same thing would probably come out of the moment. Because this is what we like. This is what's close to us.
Yeah.
There's if that makes it real. I hope so. I think there's a lot of cool stuff out there that might be a bit more contrived than what we do.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, I listened to all your albums, okay, and I think this one is actually your. I mean, I know everyone says, "Oh, this latest one is the best one," and I made the best one now, but I genuinely really dug this one more than the last one. Like, there's a lot of textures in this album which I wasn't expecting to hear. Like a big red line underneath Sacrificial Slaughter, Night of the Slain. Is a brilliant track. Yes, mate. It's a
Uh,
brilliant number, that one.
I don't have a favorite yet, to be honest.
Ah,
Whether I really like it or not, that I like it right now. Of course, if not, then we wouldn't have released it.
mm,
How I really feel about an album, I usually know about a year after it's released. When you haven't listened to it in a while, I think Night of the Slain, yeah, that came out really well.
it's got
That
some,
came out
yeah,
yeah,
beautiful guitar part in it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I love the motif running throughout it. Really hooky in an extreme way. Like
I think we heard that a lot, the hooks, and I like that in songs anyway. I like if I can remember a song by something that happens or something that kind of sticks in my head.
yeah,
For us, everything is about all the song. It has to be a cool song that you have to remember, that you have to feel one way or another, whether it's really aggressive and makes you want to kick over your table in the room, or you want to sit down and get really depressed. It
yeah,
has to
yeah.
do some. It has to do something in there, and I think those kind of hooks and that kind of emotion that's really what makes it work for
Yeah,
us.
and it did. It grabbed me. It really grabbed me.
Cool.
I said, I've heard your albums and I know them, and I play them. But and when this one came out, I was a bit late to it, so I got it just on release, or just day or so before. Sorry, and it was just like, okay, I'm going to sit down now. I'm going to give Graceless this new album, Icons of Ruin, a moment, and it just feels more mature than in its production. I mean,
There was a big change in how we record
mm,
albums. The previous ones, often maybe even separate studios where the drums were recorded in one studio and guitars at home or different studios. And it was also that we were often never in the same room even when things
ah,
were recorded. For this album, we said that that's not going to work. That doesn't feel natural. That doesn't feel real. So we locked ourselves in a Soundwatch studio in Germany, which is not that far over the border. We locked ourselves in that studio for about a week to record it and to do everything. I said we're going to do nothing else but focus on this. And everyone's into everyone's part. Everyone's going to talk about and have an opinion on everything, and that's going to make it better. So it's more of a group process than four individuals doing their stuff to try to make that album better.
yeah, I think
And I
that's
think
yeah.
that works.
It does work. It's exactly what I keep saying to people, and I really mean it. Like you can, when the Beatles recorded their stuff, it's all in one room. You know, there's a feel.
Yeah,
You get 70s rock, 80s rock in one room. There's a feel, right? There's a genuine connection between one rhythm to the next. And
yeah.
you feel that in this album. That's probably why I'm hearing it, because I'm going, well, this does feel like I'm listening to a live band.
Thank you. That's what we were going for, and it is just about a live band. I mean, you do studio stuff, but it's in a very short period of time. The modern recording techniques give a lot of freedom,
Mm.
but that's not always a good thing, right? So
No.
it gives you a lot of time as well, right? If most or a lot of bands record their guitars at home and the drums in the studio because it's a lot cheaper and you have a lot more time. But I'm not sure if that always improves the end product. It become a bit stale. It can become a bit stale that way, and we wanted it to be alive, to feel like we're playing in the room.
Yeah.
And Jörg, the engineer, immediately got what we wanted to do and how we wanted it to sound. So it really just was just over a week of just grinding, and it was done. And it feels better than the albums that took months to make.
Yeah, you know what? It's spot on, Jesper, because like if you listen to some of the great albums that we all love dearly, that we hold dearly, you read the history of their albums. They're made in a few days on a lower budget. They get in, they sometimes don't know how it happened. It's a magical thing, and suddenly you have this brilliant album that lives with you forever and the rest of your life. And then you hear albums where, and I don't want to drop names here, but say something like Def Leppard's Hysteria, which I cannot stand. It's so over-engineered. It's
Yeah.
so over-engineered that it almost becomes soulless.
Yeah, I agree, and it's not just it's also over produced, over thought of. If you can do a guitar line 17 times, it might be more perfect the 17 times, the 17th time.
Yeah,
But in total, it gets a bit still. It
yeah,
just gets. This is not music that has to be perfect. There's no need for it to be perfect. It has to it has to rock.
yeah,
That's a cliche, but it has to have some fluidity to it, or some has to live, be alive. And it doesn't get alive if you try to make it perfect. If you try to get every note,
yeah,
every time perfect. It just gets a bit better if it feels like you're in the room and you're
yeah.
playing.
Can you imagine hearing Venom's first two albums if they were perfectly engineered or perfect? It would just destroy the soul
Yeah,
magic, dark magic of it, wouldn't it?
I
Where
completely
would we
agree.
be? Where would we be? Like, you know,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think it was more fun to do, but I think the result is just so much better.
Oh,
And we've always
pleased.
considered ourselves more a live band than a recording band.
Mm.
So to get as close as we can to a live setting and make a decent album, that just made sense.
Oh, brilliant, man. And I think it's going to be great live, this album. I mean, as you said, it's got some real juicy hooks, some real neck snapping rhythms. I can't see the audience will absolutely lap it up. You know.
I hope so. Yeah, I mean, we haven't played yet since it was released, but we'll start soon. We tried out a few new songs already. They worked out. It's always a bit difficult to figure out what songs that work on an album will work live. That doesn't
Mm,
have to be a perfect match.
mm.
Lash Me to My Painful Death is or Hardening of the Heart, or the slower songs are always a bit more difficult to do
Well, there's nowhere to hide,
live.
is there?
Yeah, yeah. There's nowhere to hide. Indeed, there's nowhere to hide, and you can bring down the energy that you've built up in a few songs. But we want to do them anyway. So whether they work out or not, and how that's going to go, we'll see.
I think a great slow song, like lash me to my. I think like that kind of slowness. It just pricks the boil of the energy. You know, sometimes you get so much energy, you just need that moment where you can all relax your neck a bit,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
get a drink, just get into it, and then head back to the heavy shit, like the fast
Well,
stuff.
I hope they don't all get a drink while we're playing slower
You
songs.
know what I mean.
That
No,
would be
I don't mean that. You know, I mean you can drink your drink.
yeah.
Of course not. They all go off to get drinks. Where would you be? That's no good. But yeah, no, that's actually one of my Lash Me to My Painful Death is actually one of my another fantastic number on the album. I mean, it's chock full of all. It's all killer, man. I don't know if I can think of a song on the album that I don't like.
Yeah,
Truly, which is not
really. Oh, thank
always the
you.
case. Not always the case. You know,
Yeah.
like Rise of the Blackest Sun. I mean, great.
I like that song as well. Yeah, that
Yeah.
might be one of my favorites now. Will change over time. That changes every few weeks.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you've been around for now, what, close to almost 10 years, isn't it,
Yeah, yeah.
as a band? So you know you sort of done your dues, you've done your hard yards, man. It's time to just enjoy this
This
album.
this band has been around for 10 years, but we've been around for a lot longer, right?
Mm,
So Remco, Mark, and myself have played together for almost 30 years now in different
wow,
bands.
wow.
We've played with a band called Xenomorph in Nilgo Massacre, and then when that all imploded, we sort of let's start over.
Yeah,
We're gonna do this one more time, and that's Graceless. We also said never again do we want anyone in the band that doesn't fit in well and make it more fun. So that's where Björn came in, and he was the perfect match. So just to have that steady lineup for 10 years really helps if you want to lock yourself in a room for a week and record an album.
yeah,
It has to be fun as well, right? Or
yeah.
sitting in a car for many hours, driving to shows and
Ah.
share hotel rooms. It helps if it's fun. So we've been around for a while now.
And the album sounds that way. Like your band does sound that way. It doesn't sound like you do. You know, you just I've just picked my guitar up like 4 years ago. It
Yeah.
has maturity and it has DNA from so much different influences. If you listen carefully, there's little bits of here, little bits of there, which just make you smile. You know, I hear a bit of Celtic Frost. I hear a little bit of, Candlemass. I hear a little bit of. It's just
You're naming the good bands now, and
yeah,
that's really because that's probably because we don't care about the genres that much.
yeah,
It's either good or not. So influence will come from Candlemas, from Celtic Frost, but it might also be Cannibal Corpse or
yeah.
Slayer. I mean, we just like too many of the good bands
Yeah, yeah.
to focus on one of
Oh,
them.
oh, I know, and that's but also that creates that your own DNA. Like I said, with this brilliant
Yeah,
album, like it can only get better from here, Jesper. I think this is the best so far for you. For
thank you.
me, as a fan, this is my favorite album so far of yours because I just love that middle section, that little middle section. There's something about that middle section, like the sort of 4 track, 5 tracks in. It just sort of like it feels like it's almost one track combined. It feels like
Oh
it
wow.
flows one to the other. I couldn't feel a desperate or I couldn't hear a point where I go, okay, that's where that one finishes. It- you know,
Wow, I think that's a big compliment because you want to make an interesting album and not that exists of good songs, but
Mm,
together it has to be a good album as well.
mm.
If we did something like that, or at least for you, then that's a big
Oh,
compliment. So thank you.
it flew, it flowed. There was, sometimes you put an album on, and there are moments where you go, I could skip that quite comfortably, and I don't, it's bad. I know you shouldn't, but I probably could. And, I'm not overly enamored by that. I was lying on the sofa and I don't, again this afternoon, trying to just get my head around the album before the interview and lying there and it just enveloped me. I didn't feel like at one point my mind didn't wander. I was in the moment, you
Wow,
know, and that's exactly what I want from music, man. And that's what bands like you give us as listeners. And
that's
it's
what I
a
want as well.
special kind of magic, man.
Well, that's what I like as well. I like to listen to album. I think nowadays a lot of people listen to songs only,
Mm,
and not that
yes.
much the album. But if an album's good, then it's gonna be over before you know it, from end to finish. And
Yes.
you're in that journey or route or whatever it does, and it flows naturally. If we did that right now, then that would make me really proud. I can tell you in about a year if I still feel that way, if we still feel that we did that, because it's really difficult to judge your own music
Oh God,
right on.
yes. I mean, art is painful, and having to watch, listen, or look at your own art, I can't imagine is easy because you have
Yeah,
to let it go into the world and let people who you don't know, who all have opinions, have their opinions, right?
and you
Um,
see interesting stuff when it comes to opinions. I mean,
oh my God, I could not be. I found bad enough when I get people say things that I do. Imagine you, putting your art into the world. I'd have to I live
yeah,
in a
I
cave, I
don't mind
think.
if I don't mind if they really don't like it. I think that's
Yeah,
cool.
it's an energy, right?
That's
Yeah.
so often you get they rate albums right in reviews, and you
Mm,
get kind of a 0 to 10. I
mm.
hate the sevens. I
Yes.
those are the worst, right?
What?
When it's okay.
Yeah, it's
So
blah.
either hate it or love it, but it was okay. That's the worst for me.
Ah,
But you also get some really weird comments sometimes. I mean, if you look at the comments under our video, we're being compared with bands like Satyricon, Immortal. I've seen on there. I've
really?
seen Behemoth and Cannibal Corpse. I think there's a lot of room between those sounds. I don't
Wow. Yeah,
really get that.
I wouldn't hear that, but that's okay.
Yeah, I don't hear it either. But that's the hard and exciting part about releasing something. It's out of my hands now and
Yeah,
out of our hands. It's up to everyone else to figure out if they like it or not.
yeah, and now it'll be the soundtrack of someone's life for a little period of time, right? Which is a lovely thought.
Yeah, that's yeah.
I mean, I often when I want to really get into an album, I put go to a darkened room. I can't have lots of light and stuff going on. I need to be dark and put an eye patch on, and then I can hear all the moments going on in the album because music like yours is so textured and so layered and interesting that it's not sort of I could put on and drive listening to. And I mean that. I hope that doesn't offend you because for me, it's an album
No.
to sit with. Uh,
And
and
nothing offends me about how anyone wants to listen to it. If they buy it and want to throw it away instantly, that's fine. They paid for it. I don't care.
yeah, yeah,
Um, so whatever is your way to listen to music is all good by me. If you just want to listen to two songs in your playlist and that makes you happy,
mate.
it's out there now. It's up for everyone to grab or ignore.
Yeah, well, Night of the
I'm
Slain
okay.
is worth the album. Is worth the buying the album alone. I think.
Thank you. That's
Yeah,
really cool.
yeah, and Rise of the Blackest Sun. I think that's another. I said worth the entry fee, as they used to
Yeah,
say. Worth the ticket
yeah.
price on it. And I love. Oh, before we go, I do want to say I really like the art. I think the cover is really beautiful in a sort of darkened and interesting way. It's a really interesting cover.
Yeah, we had this idea to build the album around Catholic Church imagery and history.
Mm.
And there's enough there to make a few albums out of that one
Yeah.
because that's dark enough. But also, their art is, I mean, whether you like the institution or not, the art is amazing that
Oh,
they
it is
have.
beautiful. Yes, yes, that is true. Yes.
So that was the initial idea. Then a few songs in, we just got bored with it a bit, and we kind of let go of the idea and figured out we'll see what happens. But the art part still stayed. So that stained glass thing, that was a really good idea. Then we talked to the label and asked them, "Do you know anyone who can pull this off?" Because it's a bit different than your average monster on the top
Yes.
or the evil logo. So we wanted someone that can actually will put in the time and study how that stained glass could work and tell the story a bit. We came up with I think he's Czech guy, and I can't remember his name right now.
Yeah.
It's really mean of me.
That's all right.
He took his time. It was a lot. It really took his time to do it, but he delivered on something that was spot on to what we wanted, and really matched. It really matched what we were looking for and what we told him to do. And that's a difficult thing to create text, to receive just emails of text, and then create that into an art
Yeah.
thing that matches music that doesn't exist yet.
Yeah.
He did an amazing job.
Well, he's captured it. I mean, he's captured the album. You look at the cover. I mean, you know, we live in a world, we love our extreme music, and sometimes the covers are just outrageous. You know, they're just there to
Yeah,
be outrageous. Cannibal Corpse being a classic example, right? But you
and
put
they
on,
invented it.
yeah,
That's
they
that's
did.
their that's their thing. I
That's the
mean,
thing. But put on your one, and there, I mean, there is a sense of beauty to this album, yes, but there is a sense of sadness and melancholy and disbelief when you listen to it, and it comes across in that cover because it's quite a sad cover, but it's also really quite uplifting as well.
yeah, well, it is really about those. Think about losing trust or faith
Mm,
in icons that you used to believe in.
mm,
Someone, and it's not from really from a personal perspective. However, there is parts in there that can be losing a relationship, and that's part that might be hidden in the lyrics there, and
mm,
that's also a loss of something that you used to believe in very
mm,
convinced. That was your world,
mm.
and I think icons of ruin, as the title kind of says, really is looking back at all those icons that represent things that are now lost, that you no longer either believe in or don't have
Yeah.
in your life anymore.
It's beautiful, yes, but it's absolutely beautiful. I know that we live in a world that's extreme music. People say it's not beautiful, but it is beautiful. Like
Thank you.
it truly, and people say it can't be. But you can see beauty in everything. There's beauty in everything. Even
Yeah,
the darkest things can be beautiful, and like just I can't say it's just wonderful. I love the whole thing. It's just fantastic. Resurrection of the Graceless, the ending track is a fantastic way to end the album as well. Like you go out on a high at the end of that album, right?
it's just that's one of the fun songs to play live, right?
Mm,
It has that almost punky guitar riffing in there.
yep.
Uh, I like the fact, of course, that it starts with a bass and drum. Gives me my moment to jump to the front of the stage, where
Yes.
I'm at most of the time anyway. But but
Yeah.
it's energy. It's just a real. It's a real a neck breaker. A real. It's a
Yeah,
fun song.
it
But
really is. What a way to finish because you start with an absolute cracker. God shines in their absence, and then you end Resurrection of the Graceless, and it's like the great perfect sort of bookends. It's very difficult, I think, sometimes when I listen to a lot of albums, as we all do, when sometimes you think, why did you open with that one? We're all a bit critical, aren't we, right? About, oh, I wouldn't have done it that way. But this one doesn't have that. I feel this just whoosh,
and that is that
flows.
those are difficult decisions to make when you have a bunch of songs. We recorded a bit more, two more songs that are not on the album. We might release them eventually, but you have to create that flow in an album
Yeah.
that makes sense to listen to and that works out. And it's always difficult to figure out what order things need to be in.
Oh,
There's the
yeah.
commercial part where people will listen to the first song most, especially
Yeah.
especially when they do that on the streaming things.
Mm,
They listen
yeah.
to the first song most, so that has to be something that tells the story of the album already a
Mm,
bit.
yeah.
There's so
Yeah.
many things to consider. So if we made the right choice, then that's really good. It's really
I think you did, and it's so far. I'm going to say I don't mean to blow smoke up you, but I think it's one of my favorite albums of the year so far in the extreme
like,
world because there's so much out there. There's a lot of noise in the music world in at the moment. There's a lot of noise. We are very lucky. We live in a time of abundance right
yeah.
now, where we went through that plain '90s period where nothing happened, and then early 2000s of nothing, and then boom, it's all kind of like coming back again, um, and so it's nice to punch above that
And
noise.
there are a lot of releases, but I like that. I
Oh, I
mean, I
love
like
it.
that so many people can make great out, and there's so much good stuff. Lately, I've been trying to get into what younger people are listening to,
Yeah.
not the youngest guys in our band, right? So what they're listening to, and it's easy to dismiss that quickly because they might
Oh yes.
look a bit different or sound different. Man, there's some good stuff out there that those guys are doing,
Yeah.
and it's really difficult to keep up with releases because it's so good and there's so much
I know.
great metal out there. It's
My inbox is exploding. It's like it's just like I don't know where. Look, I'm a kid in a candy shop. Sometimes you go,
oh yeah,
where
yeah.
do I go now? What's next? It's so exciting, and it is exciting that you're in the world with us on this brilliant album. I hope that
Thank you.
someday, I know it's a long way, you might get to Australia. You never know. You never know.
We would love to. I mean, it's a matter of finding someone who wants to bring us over there, right? It's
Oh, I'll tell you, if I was a multi-millionaire, you'd be on the first. I'd get you over.
who knows? Maybe one day. Maybe one
Yeah.
day would be
Yeah,
nice.
well, we need a good extreme festival here. It would be good to have all the great bands that are coming out.
There's
Um,
nothing out there now.
well,
You
not
don't have any.
really, not there is, but they're sort of small. I think it would be good to have international acts. I mean, Australia makes some brilliant local. The local stuff here is really good stuff. Like it's some fantastic stuff coming out. But it's just sometimes you want to look over the border and go, "Hey, really like them. When are they going to come here?"
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah. Yeah, that's where we're lucky. I mean, most touring bands will come to the Netherlands.
That's right. Europe is wonderful for that. It's just round the
Yeah,
corner from everything, isn't it? That's right.
yeah, and we have the big festivals, which are great, and there's a smaller level festivals beneath that, which are really cool as well. So
I know.
you can see just about good bands every other week if you want.
Yes, I grew up in the UK, so I know that feeling. But over here I have festival envy most of the time.
Yeah, you have to come over then. Welcome to join us, one.
I'd love to. I'd love to. Well, thanks for coming on and chatting about this brilliant album. It is great. I hope that it does everything you want it to do, and I hope that you enjoy playing it live because it's a thing of beauty. Jasper,
Thank
really
you.
genuinely, blew me away. I wasn't expecting that. I don't know what I was expecting, to be honest. I just thought, oh yeah, I'll put this album on. I've heard their stuff. I know I like their stuff, but this was like next level.
Thank you
So
so much. I appreciate you talking to us. Appreciate the channel.
yeah, no worries, man. And
And
keep safe and enjoy touring it.
thank you. We'll do. We'll talk later one day.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye for now, man. Bye bye.